It is 3 p.m. on Saturday, the 25th of May, 2024. And today, D&J Drives will be taking you through Warrens and its environs. We begin today's drive from the Cavehill Road, and we will join the ABC Highway from the Gordon Cummins section of the highway, so that we can have a nice drive into Warrens and give you a view of its skyline. So this is Cavehill Road, and we are about to begin exploring Warrens. Warrens, St. Michael. From this angle, you can have a view of the Bridgetown port right ahead. And we are now at the junction, which can take you down to Rockdando if we went across those lights. But we're turning left onto the Gordon Cummins Highway to enter Warrens. Some observers generally refer to this area as Warrens, but this isn't quite Warrens. This is entering Warrens. To our right is known as Well Gap, and you can see Warrens far into the camera. Far ahead, and now you can start to see the tall buildings. Warrens Towers, CGI Tower, the Baobab Tower, One Barbados. On our left is Claremont. To the right, way across, is Eden Lodge and Lodge Hill. So this lovely drive into Warrens gives you a lovely view of the area that some people argue should be designated a city. And it has everything that a city contains. I mean, there's no church around, there's no cathedral, there's no church, but there's everything else. So along the ABC Highway, well, this is essentially the end of the Gordon Cummins section of the ABC Highway, and we've covered that extensively in several videos. In fact, we have a video on the roundabouts between the seaport and the airport, so we need not repeat that information. But along the ABC Highway, Warrens, the area, because it's not yet designated a town or city, as some people refer to it as the city of Warrens, but it's not a town, it's just an area, Warrens. It covers two of the roundabouts along the ABC Highway. This being the first, the Darcy Scott roundabout, followed by the Everton Weeks roundabout. And this Darcy Scott roundabout is very, very difficult sometimes to navigate. I'm told there's an accident here every day. You can see that building there, the Salt building, Inchcape ahead of us, that used to be Simpson Motors. We're gonna drive the length of it and exit Warrens and re-enter. So we've just entered from the Gordon Cummins section. We're now on the Errol Barrow section of the ABC Highway. This is Warrens. Here we approach the Everton Weeks roundabout. And we've essentially exited, or we are exiting, Warrens. So we'll make the loop and come right back and just explore all of the areas, Warrens and its environs. A lot of rain in Barbados today. The temperature is currently 29%, and the roads are slippery, so driving fast is a no-no. It's cleared up a lot now. You can see blue skies, but earlier today it was raining cats and dogs, as they say. Not that the rain is unwelcome, because it's been so dry and hot. Everything is dried up and brown. So the rain is welcome, but we're about to begin the rainy season from June 1st. So we approach the Clyde Walcott roundabout, aka the Hothersall roundabout, as some people refer to it, and we'll make this loop and re-enter Warrens. If we exited on the left of this roundabout, we would enter Hothersall, but that's not happening today. To the right, you can see the construction occurring of the new geriatric hospital, due to open sometime soon. Not without its controversy, this being Barbados. There you can see the geriatric hospital underway, and we take this loop around the Clyde Walcott roundabout and head back into Warrens. Controversy, because some argue that it's not a good location for the hospital because of various reasons, that it should be closer to the sea, and this area is to this and to that. For my part, I like the design of it, and I think it's great that the senior citizens will have new air-conditioned facilities, state-of-the-art. the way, that turn off there at the Clyde Walcott roundabout takes you back to Combermere School, which we've shown you in a previous video. About to re-enter Warrens, and you can see the Baobab Tower ahead of you. Accommodation mainly for government offices, and there's a whole push to raise the importance of Warrens. There you can see the CIBC head office building, and that's the regional head office. There's a whole push to escalate the importance of Warrens at the expense of Bridgetown. There you can see the Dome Mall on the left, where we reapproach the Everton Weeks roundabout, and then we're going to show you some industrial areas. Yeah, there's this push to elevate Warrens at the expense of Bridgetown. Sometime around 2008 onwards, there was a mass exodus of government departments from Bridgetown into Warrens, and I learned this from a recent Chamber of Commerce event where a senior member of the Private Sector Association explained this. So with the push to move government offices out of Bridgetown for whatever reason, you have a number of government offices now located in Warrens. We're going to turn off at this roundabout, and ahead of us is the One Accord Plaza. That's always been there from as long as I remember things. This is a sort of an industrial area. Several warehouses. You can see all these warehouses in here. You can see a playing field through this gate. We'll be going there. That's on the other side of the industrial area, behind Inchcape and Sol, which we pointed out on the way into into Warrens the first time. That's the end of one avenue. We can't cover all of the avenues, but we'll do enough for you to get a feel for this industrial estate. Feel something like the Wildy industrial estate, industrial area. It is said that Warrens is the fastest growing area in the country. The value of real estate is increasing steadily, and demand for office space, demand for storage is on the rise as well. Check the name of this building. It's called Warren's Court. In there you find doctors' offices, lawyers' offices. We've just turned into One Accord Plaza. So One Accord Plaza is sort of like a little shopping area, little mall with a pharmacy and one or two fast food restaurants. That building is called Warren's Business Center, and there's also a pharmacy in there. Exiting One Accord Plaza. So there you can see Warren's Court, Warren's Business Center. There's a pharmacy in there, as I said. And just to reiterate, today is a very rainy, cloudy day in Barbados, and the temperature is 29 degrees, not percent, I think I said earlier. 29 degrees. And this is the Baobab Tower ahead of you there. CIBC on the right. Back at the Everton Weeks roundabout, which is maintained by CIBC. There's the Door Mall ahead, Williams Tower, back to CIBC. This is Warren's Great House ahead of you. This used to be a great house in the area before this Warren's Tower, this Michael Mansoor building existed. We just take a slight turn here. So the late Michael Mansoor was the first CEO of CIBC Caribbean Limited after CIBC merged with Barclays. Michael Mansoor was the CEO of CIBC itself, CIBC Caribbean Limited, which merged with Barclays Bank to become First Caribbean International Bank in Barbados and throughout the Caribbean. And Michael Mansoor was the CIBC, was the chairman, the CEO, and then the chairman. And this building here is named for him, the Michael Mansoor building, next to Warren's Great House. And that's basically office space for various entities. And this is the Baobab Tower here. It's primarily government offices, different ministries. Try to get a good angle. So that's the Baobab Towers, located by this Baobab Tree that is of historical significance, and there's something blocking the roundabout, so we can't exit properly. So there's parking all through. There's a multi-story car park behind it. There's a list of entities in there: the Caribbean Tourism Organization, Caribbean Commissioners of Police, Export Development Agency, CARICOM Regional Organization, Inter-American Institute for Cooperation in Agriculture, the Statistical Department, Corporate Affairs and Intellectual Property, Ministry of International Business and International Transport. And this is the Baobab Tree. Something is behind us. Get a sense of the car park. I'm sure this image must be quite a shock for Barbadians who live overseas and haven't been to Barbados for many years. This just didn't exist in your time. And we are aware, based on feedback that we receive from our videos, that there are many Barbadians, older Barbadians especially, who left 20, 30, 40 years ago, who enjoy these videos. So this is a big change for you. Multi-story car park at the Baobab Tower. And you're going to see the base of the Baobab tree. This tree is protected and it has historical significance. And there it is. this area takes you into Jackson, St. Michael. The Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Mia Motley, she is the Member of Parliament for that area, going all the way up from Jackson. You can see the Baobab Tower again. I always like to place areas within the context of constituencies, because it gives you an idea of how Barbados is broken up politically. We will go on this left lane to go down to Green Hillside. Back at the Everton Weeks roundabout, and we exited faster this time. Just make a quick left here into the Warrens Healthcare Complex. Exit there to escape that music so it isn't captured in our video, so that we get any copyright issues. Here you see the Diabetes Center, outfitted with panels for photovoltaic. Warren's Healthcare Complex. The Barbados Red Cross Society is behind here also. To our left is the ABC Highway, just for your information. Residential area. Now this area is called Friendship Terrace. It's a middle to lower income residential area with properties ranging from large to small, from chattel to concrete. First Avenue North Friendship Drive, that's the proper name. Won't explore too much of that because we just want to give you an idea of the surrounding areas of Warrens. Through a bit of an industrial area there to the right again, and then on the left is called Manor Lodge. The Manor Lodge complex. We shall enter. There are several offices and dentists and doctors and laboratories, and also one or two government entities in this Manor Lodge. It's a very large complex. There's a liming area here also. it's very convenient because there's a lot of parking. As we exit Manor Lodge, we turn right onto Green Hill, and Green Hill takes you, so that's Manor Lodge on the right, and this is Green Hill, also known as Highway 2, and we can take a left on Green Hill get to Price Mart. So I don't think anybody needs an explanation on what Price Mart is. You can drive through Price Mart. This is the back of Dome Mall, or rather the side of it. And then we'll have to make a left turn on Green Hill, but we want to go right. So we pass through Dome Mall. This building here, sort of peach or salmon colored, that is known as the Barak building, but it's a government building, and I think there are about 5 ministries in there, including economic affairs. Here's the Dome Wall. Then there's the Massey Complex. A large grocery store. Ahead there's the Williams Tower. Williams corporate offices. So this complex here holds the Massey stores, the grocery store, furniture, pharmacy, full works. And in case you didn't know it, hidden at the back are stores, laundromat, gambling, and restaurant. this is exploring the area of Warrens. As I said, it's not a town, but some argue that it should be, making it Barbados's 5th town, and some even argue that it should be designated a city, not even just a town, but a city, and that's an ongoing debate. But what we do know is that it has developed significantly at the expense of Bridgetown. There's a large bank in here, and when you go to the Dome Mall, it's just like any other mall. You can get all sorts of things in there, different stores, and there's a food court, laundry, so that's Dome Mall. Join Highway 2, aka Green Hill. So that's the Warrens Healthcare Complex to the right, where we entered and came through Friendship. CIBC's head office ahead of us in front of Baobab Tower. So that's context for you. Back onto the ABC Highway. Of the Barrow section, back to the Darcy Scott roundabout. I hope you're able to follow this road network. It's quite a lot. It's very developed. And there's still a lot more to see. When we planned this drive, we didn't expect all of this rain, which is slowing down the flow of traffic, and we may have to abort plans of doing this in one capture and perhaps do parts 1 and 2. This is the line for Chefette on the left. One of the older towers in here, CGI Tower. This was here before all of the other towers. Well, you can't quite see it fully, but over there, that's the government offices. Some people refer to it as the Barrack Building, and that goes back to another controversy where there was a gentleman by the name of Mr. Barrack. That's the One Barbados building there that houses the tourism office and the public bank. So there was this controversy with Barrack, and he was in court with the government, and it was a whole confusion where he was owed money and he doused himself with water and flour and he said that he was trying to make himself white so that he could be paid, because he was accusing the government of only paying white people. It was a big controversy. That's the Warrens Tower there, and that residential area out there is Claremont. So eventually the barrack building issue was settled. That's Warrens Tower ahead of you there. Eventually the issue of barrack was settled. He was compensated and life moved on. In this government tower here, the Warrens Tower, you can find the Barbados Revenue Authority. Here we have it. The Barbados Revenue Authority. And for the sake of Barbadians who live overseas and haven't been home for many years, this building essentially replaces the Treasury building in Bridgetown, and it houses several government departments, including the Barbados Revenue Authority, which is a new creation of several entities, including Revenue Authority and different government income collection offices. That building out there to the left is the CGI tower that we tried to show you, and this one next to the barrack building, this is One Barbados. It houses the Warrens branch of Republic Bank. You can see far out there the Sol building, residential development Claremont, and Clare Park. This is what you call skyline in the context of Barbados. So you can see why there's argument for it to be designated a town. A little turn here. You can rejoin the highway from this point, but we are turning at the KFC Warrens, which always has a long line to head back into the main area. And a little area here for street food, including an attempt at Trini doubles. If ever you pass here, you can try it for yourself and determine whether you consider it anything at all like Trini doubles. And that's the CGI tower. We'll enter the One Barbados building. It's Republic Bank Warrens. And there's a drive-through ATM. I understand the BTMI is also in this building. Barbados Tourism Management Incorporated. And then you can only turn right here. Again, parking, government offices there, the Warrens Tower. And there's still a lot more to see. This takes us back to the ABC Highway, to the Darcy Scott roundabout. complex is on the left, where we just passed. This road is one way, so you can drive on either side. And of course, there's the fruit vendor. Door Mall again, there's an exit here. Side entrance to PriceSmart. We dipped in and out of PriceSmart a little while ago. And we're facing Lodge Hill, but we're turning right so that we can drive into the government building here. The Barrack building, as it is called colloquially. This is it here. Quite impressive in its own right, in the context of Barbados. Parking, and the covered parking is for the various government ministers and senior civil servants. This is the main entrance. See, there's Town and Country Planning Development Office. All of these reserved spots. Chief Labor Officer, Chief Surveyor, Public Counsel. All of these are the occupants of this impressive building. Director RPU, Manager PIU, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Economic Affairs, PS Min Economic Affairs. This gives you an idea of who is in here. Senior Minister there. Senior Minister of Energy and Business. PM Ministry of Labor. Chief Town Planner. The Land Registry Department. There's a vehicle so labeled. So this is a very significant building in terms of the running of Barbados and Barbados's financial system and its economy. And it's located in Warren's St. Michael as opposed to Bridgetown. Also in St. Michael. So if we continued behind that black car, we get back to the Warrens, the One Barbados building where Republic Bank operates from, Warrens branch. And we encounter this roundabout, which takes us into Lodge Hill. So this is Lodge Road, sorry. This is a residential area with several turns and pockets. We won't explore those, but it gives you an idea of the area. This area here would be middle to upper or high income. And you can see it's right behind the Warrens Tower. This is where we head to the back of it. This view is rather impressive with the trees and the landscaping. So we can turn right coming up to exit, which we will do on the way back down. It's called West Road, but we just turn into here to give you a view of Lodge Hill. Right, so we can continue up this road, but we'll just turn here to head back down. The end of a nice little development here, a little cul-de-sac. Bit difficult to turn unless you have access to the large driveways, remote gates and so on. Look at this lovely tree here. A nice little green area. So we exit, and again you can see the Warren's Tower from here. This is a nice neighborhood, and look, you can still see, as illustrious as that area is, you can still see very modest houses on the left, and that's the beauty of Barbados. The rich, the poor, and the in-between all live together in peace and harmony. It's very, very peculiar. Very little concern about devaluing someone's property. You know, everybody respects everyone and just live together. That's not to say that there's no concern for property values in some areas, and that is not also to say that all areas have that mixture, but for the most part, most areas do. That's how people live generally. So this area is all into Cave Hill and environs. The University of the West Indies has a campus here. This is a little turn off. This tire shop here has been around from the time I used to visit Barbados before coming here permanently. That tire shop was around. So we've turned here to include it in the video because it's a landmark almost. Now, of course, if you are planning a visit to Barbados, this video may not be the most appetizing because it's featuring a lot of local stuff and where locals live and shop and bank and so on. But of course, if you're looking for deals, there are several Airbnbs out here, and it's still a very central location. So if you came here as a tourist, you can still get around to the beaches and to Bridgetown quite easily. but you may not be picking that up from what we're showing you. There you can see some guys having some drinks, and looks like they're just drinking, not playing dominoes or anything, just sitting there. A lady is among them. This is the tire shop here. I'm almost certain that there's someone out there seeing this video who will remember that tire shop. So back onto the Gordon Cummins Highway. Again, you can see the skyline far off, and this is how we started this video, if you recall. But before we end it, we'll take you into one or two residential areas, this being another. So off onto West Road, and recall we started West Road on the other side. This is Claremont, or Claremont. I'm not certain how it is pronounced. I hear people saying it differently. And here's Clare Park, which we shall enter. Look at the lovely designs in this area. Lovely homes, clearly dated. So this is an older upscale neighborhood. The architecture places it in a specific historical context. Days of old, this was a very upscale, and still is, but in days of old, I imagine living in this area would have been limited or restricted to people of means. This is a little townhouse development ahead of us. I can't recall the name, but when we pass, we will see it. An old windmill is ahead there. Yes, it's Claremont Green. That's the name of that area, that development with the townhouses. Claremont Gardens. This is another popular area in here. Crystal Heights to the right. Another upscale area. Expensive housing. This is the new mosque on the right. I want to get a better view of that for you, but you'll have to turn in onto the Queen's College is ahead. That's Queen's College. This road, going down this road, takes us onto the Cave Hill Road where we started this tour. Cave Hill Road, so we just turn off into Queen's College. You've seen that already, going down there. So we just give you a little view into Queen's College, a very popular school in Barbados. It was previously located where the Ministry of Education is currently headquartered. And Queen's College used to be a girls' school in days of old. All schools in Barbados, with two exceptions, are co-ed. But this school is a highly coveted one. And some argue it is the top school, but again, these things are usually very subjective. We've entered there because we usually cover as many schools as possible, and there's the mosque. Definitely a new structure for many Barbadians who've not been home in a long time. You can have an idea of the houses and the surrounding areas. So the Islamic community, there's a big community out here, and they pushed to get this. A lot of them live out here and they own businesses and so on. And there was a big push for them to get this place of worship. Claremont Meadows ahead of us. So as we approach the end of today's drive, we want to thank you for your ongoing support. We read all of the comments that are left and try to respond. Sometimes we don't get to respond as quickly as we should, but we read everything. We appreciate all the feedback, positive, negative, all of the likes and shares. Please continue to share our videos. They can encourage visitors to Barbados. They can comfort Barbadians who are both elderly or unable to travel to Barbados as regularly as they would like to, or maybe just can't travel altogether. Please share these videos with them and subscribe to our channel. We're growing our community of tour goers. So there you've just driven through Claremont. little turn here is known as a lollipop, the Warren's lollipop. You turn there to go back down to the Darcy Scott roundabout. On the left is Warren's Crescent. Another high-end residential area. This is Highway 2, and we've just exited Warren's, and this area is called Welsh's, and Welsh's is in St. Thomas. So we just take the roundabout up there to go back down to Warren's and show you the industrial estate. Development out here, but this is for another time. We are just using this roundabout. You're getting to see some other areas, some other development. Cost you less, and another shopping area. But we are using Highway 2 to get back to Warren's. So we came out of Claremont, we turned left, we went up the hill past Warren's Terrace, and then we used this roundabout to swing and come right back down. But we could have turned right while exiting. Well, we could have turned right by Warren's Terrace, but we had to turn left to exit Claremont. So we're back in Warren's. Warren's Terrace Road is on the left. And of course we can, where that truck is turning, that goes into Warren's Terrace. Warren's Terrace Road is on the left. And there's so much more to see in Warren's. This white car here is coming off the lollipop we mentioned. It's in the shape of a lollipop. But we will turn in here at the industrial complex. Now you should remember this field. If you look ahead, you'll see the buildings earlier in this video when we turned into those two avenues. So this is Collins Warehouse and Distribution. Collins is a big pharmacy in Barbados, big name. This is where they are headquartered, or where their warehouse is located. And all of those buildings ahead there, we were behind there when we turned by One Accord Plaza. So this is Inchcape's head office. Just gonna do a swing here, so you should remember that area by that blue container down there. We were out there when we were showing you the industrial estate. This is the other side of it. This is Inchcape, formerly known as Simpson Motors, for brands such as Mercedes-Benz, Suzuki. This is the Sol building ahead of us. Car park. That's a view of Warrens from the other side. You can see the Baobab Tower out there. This is an exit taking us behind Williams Tower. And again, lots of places to eat out here. Hardware store. You can see the other side of CIBC, the Michael Mansoor building. The Barak building is out there. So hopefully you've been able to learn the road network of Warrens. You've seen the Massey, you've seen, we may not have covered everything, but you've seen the better known areas of Warrens today. See that building on the right is called Williams 1 Corporate Offices. Williams is a big name in Barbados. Two brothers, Sir Charles Williams and Busy Williams, or Ralph Williams. Those two brothers have created a name for themselves, and they both have thriving conglomerates and groups. So we're back at this Darcy Scott roundabout, which tends to be quite tricky, as mentioned earlier. As we get ready to leave Warrens for the last time today, we'll say goodbye from D&J Drives at 4:21 p.m. on Saturday, the 25th of May 2024, having explored Warrens. We now say goodbye at the Everton Weeks roundabout, and thank you for spending this time with us. Until next time.